Too close, Commander. 10 more seconds we would have been swimming in molten sulfur. The Normandy isn't equipped to land in exploding volcanoes. They tend to fry our sensors and melt our hull. Just for future reference.
We almost died out there and your pilot is making jokes?
I just gotta say, the volumes on this game are so weird. There's only 3 volume options in the actual game. I have them set to where I think is good. I think it's a good volume. Sometimes when the characters are talking, when you're roaming around wherever you are, it sounds a little bit low, but in cutscenes, everything's fine. Except that was like extremely loud in my headset. I don't know how loud it was on stream, but my headset, that was loud. But I guess because since this game came out in like 2007, there's not really options for that, so apologies if that hurt the ears. Windows volume at 55 to 60, then increase gain a hair. Clicks are hard to get rid of, yeah. They are indeed. Alright, he saved us.
Joker pulled our asses out of there. I think he's earned the right to a few bad jokes.
I see. It must be a human thing. I don't have a lot of experience dealing with your species, Commander. But I am grateful to you. You saved my life back there, and not just from the volcano. Those Geth would have killed me or dragged me off to Saren.
What did Saren want with you? Do you know something about the conduit?
Only that it was somehow connected to the Prothean extinction. That is my real area of expertise. I have spent the past 50 years trying to figure out what happened to them.
I like how she was readjusting herself in the chair. That was kind of fun to watch. It was pretty loud. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, guys. So I mean, I don't know. I guess next time if that happens, I just have to Alt-Tab and just lower it, I guess? I don't know. You're bleeding from the ears, so no. I'll be sure to reimburse you for some new ears.
How old are you exactly?
I hate to admit it, but I am only 106.
Damn! I hope I look that good when I'm your age.
A century may seem like a long time to a short-lived species like yours, but among the Asari I am barely considered more than a child. That is why my research has not received the attention it deserves. Because of my youth, other Asari scholars tend to dismiss my theories on what happened to the Protheans.
I might know?
I've got my own theory on why the Protheans disappeared.
Oh, yeah.
With all due respect, Commander, I have heard every theory out there. The problem is finding evidence to support them. The Protheans left remarkably little behind. It is almost as if someone did not want the mystery solved. It is like someone came along after the Protheans were gone and cleansed the galaxy of clues. But here is the incredible part. According to my findings, the Protheans were not the first galactic civilization to mysteriously vanish. This cycle began long before them.
How do you know this?
Where'd you come up with this theory? I thought there wasn't any evidence.
I have been working on this for 50 years. I have tracked down every scrap and shred of evidence. Eventually, subtle patterns start to emerge. Patterns that hint at the truth. It is difficult to explain to someone else. I cannot point to one specific thing to prove my case. It is more a feeling derived from a half-century of dedicated research. But I know I'm right, and eventually I will be able to prove it. There were other civilizations before the Protheans. This cycle has repeated itself many times over.
Who came before them? Oh, the Reapers?
If the Protheans weren't the first, then who was?
I don't know. There is barely any evidence on the Protheans, even less on those who came before them. I cannot prove my theory, but I know I am right. The galaxy is built on a cycle of extinction. Each time a great civilization rises up, it is suddenly and violently cast down. Only ruins survive. The Protheans rose up from a single world until their empire spanned the entire galaxy. Yet even they climbed to the top on the remains of those who came before. Their greatest achievements, the mass relays and the Citadel, are based on the technology of those who came before them. And then, like all the other forgotten civilizations throughout galactic history, the Protheans disappeared. I have dedicated my life to figuring out why.
That's right. The Protheans made the Citadel, which is the first area of the game that we went to. We spent like, I don't know, 6 hours there. And then the mass relays, which allow everyone to travel to different galaxies and planets and stuff like that. The Protheans apparently were wiped out 50,000 years ago, and there's been some Prothean artifacts that have started showing up now. And then, of course, the evil people want it, so trying to figure it out and stop them, of course. I can help you, madam.
They were wiped out by a race of sentient machines. The Reapers.
Yep.
The Reapers? But I have never heard of. How do you know this? What evidence do you have?
Beacon on Eden Prime.
There was a damaged Prothean beacon on Eden Prime. It burned a vision into my brain. I'm still trying to sort out what it all means.
Visions? Yes, that makes sense. The beacons were designed to transmit information directly into the mind of the user. Finding one that still works is extremely rare. No wonder the Geth attacked Eden Prime. The chance to acquire a working beacon, even a badly damaged one, is worth almost any risk. But the beacons were only programmed to interact with Prothean physiology. Whatever information you received would have been confused, unclear. I am amazed you were able to make sense of it at all. A lesser mind would have been utterly destroyed by the process. You must be remarkably strong-willed, Commander.
Okay, this isn't helping us find Saren or the conduit.
Of course, you're right. I am sorry, my scientific curiosity got the better of me.
Science ramble.
Unfortunately, I do not have any information that could help you find the conduit, or Saren.
Why is there only 2 options here? You can still help us.
I don't know why Saren wanted you out of the picture, but I think we'll be a lot better off if we bring you along.
Thank you, Commander. Saren might come after me again. I cannot think of anywhere safer than here on your ship. And my knowledge of the Protheans might be useful later on.
And her biotics will come in handy when the fighting starts.
Ooh, she's biotic too. I forgot about that. Remington says, "Wow, Ashley, rude." I know, she's kind of rude, but I mean, she is pretty hot. Welcome aboard.
Good to have you on the team, Liara.
Thank you, Commander. I am very grateful. Oh, I am afraid I am feeling a bit lightheaded.
Uh-oh.
When was the last time you ate? Or slept? Dr. Chakwa should take a look at you.
It is probably just mental exhaustion, coupled with the shock of discovering the Protheans' true fate. I need some time to process all this. Still, it could not hurt to be examined by a medical professional. It will give me the chance to think things over. Are we finished here, Commander?
Yeah, we'll talk later. You can go see the doctor. Dr. Chakwas.
We can talk again after you've seen the doctor. The rest of you, dismissed.
Mission reports are filed, Commander. You want me to patch you through to the Council?
Yeah, I think so. I think we need to tell the Council what's going on, because they did grant us Spectre status, so...
Patch him through, Joker.
Setting up the link now, Commander.
I don't have any reason to not talk with them.
Received your report, Commander.
I assume you're taking the necessary security precautions.
Who wants to help us?
Liara's on our side. The Geth were trying to kill her.
Benezia would never allow Saren to kill her daughter.
Maybe she doesn't know.
Or maybe we don't know her. We never expected she could become a traitor.
At least the mission was a success.
Apart from the utter destruction of a major Prothean ruin. Was that really necessary, Shepard?
It was.
The Geth were crawling all over those ruins. We were lucky to make it out alive.
Of course, Commander. The mission must always take priority.
This guy
Good luck,
gets it.
Commander. Remember, we are all counting on you.
We should get some XP for that. Achievement? I don't know what achievements we're getting. Is there a way to check achievements in this game? I thought there was. Well, anyways, let's do some leveling here. So we've got 4 points. Biotic protection, Vanguard, that could be pretty good. Barrier, warp, throw. I think we need to get throw up a little bit. Throw up. Then maybe we get some in. I think we got to go with like some Vanguard here. This increases biotic protection and pistol and shotgun damage. Well, you know what? Let's just get one in that. And then... guess we can get one in barrier, I guess. We're kind of spreading things out a little bit here rather than putting all the points into one talent, I guess. Yeah, it's fine. We'll almost level up again. Leveling up happens pretty quickly for the most part, but... So we've got Novaria and Pharos to go to. What we're going to do right now is we are going to kind of talk with the crew. Because every time you do like a major mission, you can always talk with the crew and they'll tell you different things and stuff like that. Before we figure out what we want to do next. So let's go ahead and save it and start talking to people. Let's talk with, I guess we'll examine that, I guess. Codex. I don't think this guy says anything.
If anyone has to take over for Captain Anderson, I'm glad it's you. I'm not sure about having non-humans on our ship, though.
Oh, this guy's racist, huh? They're on our side.
We're all on the same team here, Presley.
With all due respect, sir, that's what they said about Nihilus. Look how that turned out.
Aliens on the ship.
Speak freely, Presley. I want to know if you have a problem with non-humans.
It's not that, Commander. Humanity has always handled its own problems. Saren attacked one of our colonies. We should be the ones to stop him. We don't need their help.
Never turn away help.
Some people think asking for help is a sign of weakness. That's just being stupid and stubborn. No matter how strong you are, allies can make you stronger.
Yep.
I guess so. Maybe I'm just stuck in the old ways of thinking. But don't worry, Commander. This won't be a problem.
I think we've already asked him personal questions, but let's see if anything new pops up.
How did you end up assigned to the Normandy?
I signed up with the Alliance as a navigator right out of school, following in my grandfather's footsteps, I guess.
I think we've heard this already.
My first posting was on the Agincourt. We were at Elysium during the Skillian Blitz. A massive fleet of alien raiders hit the colony, trying to wipe it out. They had the numbers, but their ships were no match for an Alliance frigate. It was a slaughter. We couldn't even keep track of how many ships they lost.
Now you're here.
How'd you end up on the Normandy?
I got my officer's commission after Elysium. Must have made an impression on the right people. Captain asked for me when he was picking his crew.
Alright, that's it.
Carry on, Presley.
Sir.
Ooh, Paragon and XP. That's another reason why you should talk to everyone in this game. Even though I know it's slow and boring at times, you'll definitely unlock things in the Codex to read later, and then you'll also get some XP, which is nice. So, probably a good thing that we do all this stuff here. Look outside. I need to start looking at some of the Codex stuff. We'll start
I prefer
doing
gold to silver, you know, for my medal. I figured you'd recommend me for one since I pulled your boots out of the fire.
Sure you want that?
If we present you with a medal, you'll end up sitting on stage listening to politicians make speeches for a couple of hours. Fun.
That's a good point. They'd probably make me shave, too. I spent the last 7 weeks working on this baby. No medal's worth that. So, Commander, why don't you tell me why you're really here?
We've already asked him about his nickname and his disease. Ship status report, I guess?
How's the Normandy performing? Is she everything they said she'd be?
She's the best ship in the fleet. If you've got a pilot who knows how to handle her. Balance isn't what you'd expect. Takes a while to get used to that oversized drive core we got stuffed in the back, and her power can sneak up on you if you're not careful. The Normandy's probably too much ship for your average Alliance pilot, Commander. Lucky for you, I'm anything but average.
Okay.
I have to go.
Alright, see ya.
I've already asked him all about that stuff before. That's pretty good. Let's go see if we can talk to Liara yet. Sir? Salute me every time I walk by. Still have no idea what this stuff is. I gotta say though, like, in Mass Effect 2 and 3, the ship is so much better. Let's see. Let's go to the doctor over here. Not saying anything.
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
Nope.
I should
Say
go.
anything.
Goodbye, Commander.
Any ETA on Codex reading stream? I know, like, it's gonna... Dude. I don't care about the secondary ones, because these are not voice acted. All of these here are voice acted. So the guy, even though he reads slow, I mean, I don't have to read it, but... I think what we'll have to do is... maybe, like, at the beginnings or the end of the stream, we'll read some, I guess, or listen to some. But after I talk to Liara, I think we'll check some of these out. And try and stay on top of it, so that way every time we get something that's new, we can do it right away and not worry about, like, well, I got freaking 20 others that I have to do. There's gonna be some in there that I don't even remember where we got. Talk to Liara.
Commander, are you coming to check up on me?
I was worried.
You look much better. How are you feeling?
Dr. Chakwas assures me I am going to be fine.
Good.
I was impressed with her knowledge of Asari physiology.
She's the best.
You're in good hands. Dr. Chakwas knows what she's doing.
I never properly thanked you for saving me from the Geth, Commander. If you hadn't shown up,
I'm just glad we got there in time.
So am I. I know you took a chance bringing me aboard this ship. I have seen the way your crew looks at me. They do not trust me. But I am not like Benezia. I will do whatever I can to help you stop Saren. I promise.
I know.
Don't worry, Liara. I trust you. I know you won't let me down.
It means a lot to hear you say that, Commander. Thank you.
Let's ask her about this. So, Benezia, for those that don't know, the bad guy that we're trying to track down and stop is named Saren. He is a Turian, aka he looks exactly like Garrus, or he's the alien race that Garrus is, if you don't know what Turians are. And like, his assistant is Matriarch Benezia, who Benezia is Liara's mom here. So that adds a whole another thing to this this storyline here. So let's ask about Benezia. Unless it's the same thing that she said down on the planet, I'll be skipping this.
Do you know why Benezia joined up with Saren?
I don't understand it. She was always outspoken about the need for the Asari to become more involved in shaping galactic events. Maybe she thought allying herself with Saren would somehow be for the greater good in the long run. At least I hope so.
Maybe she's just evil. Oh, you sound troubled.
This hurts you, doesn't it?
None of this makes any sense to me. I have not spoken to Benezia in many years, but I know her, and this was not like her. Something changed.
Let's learn about the Asari culture. Why are you so blue all the time?
I'd like to know more about the Asari.
We were the first species to discover the Citadel. We were instrumental in forming the Council, and we always strive to be the voice of peaceful cooperation in galactic disputes. My people believe we are all part of a single galactic community. Each species contributes something to the greater whole. Although we seek to understand other species, it seems few of them seek to understand us. The galaxy is filled with rumors and misinformation about my people.
What kind of rumors?
Like what?
Most of the inaccuracies are centered around our mating rituals. My species is monogendered, male and female, have no real meaning for us.
What?
We still require a partner to reproduce. This second parent, however, may be of any species and any gender.
How is that possible?
I don't understand. Your species can mate with anyone?
Whoa.
Mating is not quite the proper term, not as you understand it. Physical contact may or may not be involved, but it is not an essential element of the union. The true connection is mental. Our physiology allows us to meld with other beings. We can touch the very depths of their minds. We explore the genetic memory of their species. We share the most basic elements of their individual and racial identities. We then pass these traits on to our daughters. It is how we learn to grow as a species and how we develop a greater understanding of other races.
So you can make babies by using your mind. That's kind of cool. Now, notice how she says she's only talking about the mother in the picture. But I mean, I guess it makes sense because she can mate with whoever you want to mate with, I guess. Hint, romance, hint. Yep. I don't know. Like I said, when I first played this game, I romanced Ashley. So I think our other two options are Tully and Liara. I might be going with Liara. I don't know. We'll see. What about the other parent?
What happens to your partner after the union?
Every relationship is different. Some unions are a single encounter with both parents parting ways afterwards. Others can be more long-term. Sometimes an Asari and her partner will stay together for many decades.
Who is your father?
Do you know who Matriarch Benezia chose as her partner?
She rarely spoke of her partner. Though I know my father, if you want to use that term, was another Asari.
You don't know who?
Benezia never told you her partner's name?
Union with our own kind is no longer common, not for the purposes of reproduction. Most Asari believe it weakens our species. Asari daughters inherit racial traits from the father species. If both parents are Asari, then nothing has been gained, or so conventional wisdom would hold. I am what is sometimes called a pureblood, though no Asari would ever be cruel enough to say the word to my face. It is a great insult among my people. It is possible Benezia's partner was embarrassed by their union. She may have been too ashamed to publicly acknowledge me as her offspring.
Wow. You don't know that.
Maybe she wanted to meet you but couldn't. Something could have happened to her. Maybe she passed away.
You might be right. I hope you are. But I have no way to know for sure. Benezia never spoke of her partner. Whatever happened, it caused her too much pain to dwell on it. She raised me by herself, though that is not uncommon. Many Asari raise their children alone, particularly if the father species is short-lived. Often the partner will pass on long before the child reaches maturity.
Jeez. So Garrus is not an option? No, you can only get with Garrus if you played a female shepherd at the beginning of the game. They didn't have options where you could get with everyone, regardless of what gender you start out with. I don't even think Mass Effect 3 does that. I don't think, but I mean, I'm pretty sure Andromeda will let you do that if that's your thing. How do you deal with that? Or how did they deal with that?
You Asari live for 1,000 years. What happens when your partner dies?
Few sapient species live as long as my kind. We have learned to take a philosophical approach to our unions. We do not focus on the inevitable loss of our partners. Instead, we enjoy the time we spend with them. And even after they're gone, a part of them lives on in us. The union is a connection that transcends both time and space.
Let's keep asking about your father thing.
Do you know who Matriarch Benezia?
Because I think there was this option right here.
Though I know my father, if you want to use that
You can
term,
do that?
was another Asari.
I thought you always needed another species to serve as one of the parents.
Think about it, Shepard. If we were not able to mate with our own species, we would have died out long before we ever mastered spaceflight and left our homeworld. Union with our own kind is no longer common, not for the purposes of reproduction. Most Asari believe it weakens our species. Asari daughters inherit racial traits from the father species.
Yep.
If both parents,
Yep. Alright,
I
heard
am what is
that.
sometimes called.
Heard
It is
it.
possible
Heard it.
Benezia's partner was embarrassed
We'll
by
say
her
that.
Maybe she wanted...
Many
Skip.
Asari raise their children alone, particularly if
Yeah, I
the
think
father
we're-
species is short-lived. Often the partner
think
will
we're
pass
done.
on long before the child reaches maturity.
We asked her about Benezia. We asked her about Asari culture. Right? Is there anything else?
My people, although we seek to understand other species,
Oh,
it seems
okay.
few of them seek to
All right.
understand us. The galaxy is filled with rumors and misinformation about my people.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
I really thought there was going to be more conversation on options there, but basically, like, talk about my mom and talk about how I make babies. Which I'm okay with. Alright, let's talk with probably one of the most boring characters, I think. I don't know. There's probably people out there that like Kaidan, but I don't know. Just seems kind of generic to me. Let's see if he has anything to say.
Anything you need, Commander?
Personal input?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
Is this an official evaluation, Commander? Or off the record?
Speak your mind.
Alenko, when it's just you and me, you can consider it off the record.
That's a generous attitude. Okay. I think there's something wrong with all this. This Saren is looking for records on some kind of galactic extinction, but we can't get backup from the Council? Sorry, Commander. There's writing on the wall here, but someone isn't reading it.
The Council doesn't want to believe anything's wrong. I'd call it human nature, but...
I hear you. It just seems like a group that's been around as long as the Council should see this coming. Sorry if I got too informal. Protocol wasn't a big focus back in Bot.
Bot. Why is it capital B, capital A, lowercase a, capital T? I guess it stands for something. Yes.
Tell me about it.
Biotic acclimation and temperance didn't last past the airlock. To the kids they hauled in, it was brain camp. Sorry, hauled in is unkind. We were encouraged to commit to an evaluation of our abilities so an understanding of biotics could be compiled. There are worse results of accidental exposure to element 0 in the womb. Beats the brain tumors some kids grew up with.
You doubt it was accidental?
Is there some question about how you were exposed?
My mother was downwind of a transport crash. It was before there were human biotics, a little after the discovery of the Martian ruins. It only gets iffy around 63 when Kinetics was running out of first-gen subjects. Until then, they'd relied on accidentals. A bunch of guys in suits show up at your door after school, and next thing you know, you're out on Jump Zero.
He's talking about his biotic powers and stuff. Jump Zero? Friends?
Jump Zero is Gagarin Station, right? What's it like?
Yeah, that's the official name. Biggest and farthest facility we had for decades. Right on the termination shock, the outer edge of the solar system. It's where they did all the Goose Chase FTL research before we caught on to using mass effect fields. It was a sterile research platform when I was there.
Let's talk about your friends.
There were other kids in the same boat, right? At least you weren't alone out there.
That's true. We did have a little circle that'd get together every night before lights out. We didn't have much to do, though. It was a research platform then, and Kinetics kept Jump Zero off the extranet to prevent leaks.
Time to talk, then?
Then you must have had plenty of time to get to know each other.
Yeah, we'd sit around and bull every night after dinner, play cards or network games.
Network games.
There was this girl named Rana, who had a little circle grow up around her. She was from Turkey. Her family was very rich. But she was smart and charming as hell. Beautiful, but not stuck up about it. I think you'd have liked her.
Did you love her? Sounds like you did.
Sounds like she was special to you.
She was. Maybe she felt the same. But things never felt together. Training, you know.
Dang. He missed his chance. Intentional exposures?
Do you know of any intentional exposures for certain?
No one knows. Doesn't mean they didn't happen. As big as the exposures were, it was hard to track down accidentals. It was different then. No one knew the potential, so there wasn't a lot of regulation. Anything Kinetics did was gold. I'm not saying they intentionally detonated drives over our outposts, but in retrospect, they were damn quick on the scene.
I guess he wasn't done with the story.
Jump Zero is a long way from home. What was it like?
The grand gateway to humanity looks a lot better in the vids. But that's my own baggage, Commander. No bearing on this.
You talk to me now.
Alenko, there's no regulation that says you can't be friends with your commander.
I appreciate that, Commander. I just don't want you to think that I'm a whiner. Besides, I've got my past squared away.
Fair enough. Okay. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was, but... Who's in here? Oh, this is where I sleep. Yeah. Man, the ship in Mass Effect 1 is so basic compared to the other ones. Let's see, we've got Rex, Ashley, Garrus, and Tolly here. I don't think they're gonna have too much to say, but I want to talk with Ashley first. Let's go ahead and save it.